There are some things that we can do to support children's friendships after they've experienced trauma, and actually, even just supporting kids' friendships overall. Parents can explain to kids what happens to their brains and their bodies after trauma, and they can help them understand how their actions and feelings are being driven by what's happening in the reptilian part of their brain or the lower brain, and how it will take time and effort to help the thinking or the upper part of their brain take control back. Parents can tell their kids that they'll be there to support them as they're working on helping their brain become more settled down. And parents will be there to help keep them safe and to help them feel safe. Parents can also build on the positive skills that kids already have. Notice what they do well with their friends and build on those skills. If they're good at asking to play with a friend, note that they were good at asking kids to play, and then build on those successes by adding new skills like how to maintain positive play interactions with other kids. And if your child is really struggling with interacting with other kids, then you might talk about the basic skills that you need to be a friend to other kids. And, part of that can come back to role playing. Parents can role play ways to deal with different challenges or different scenarios with peers, and, scenarios that kids might experience with their friends, so that kids can learn and practice ways to handle a variety of real life situations that they might actually encounter. We can support kids' ability to solve problems when they're fighting over something or, just having some sort of conflict. We can approach them calmly and ask to hold whatever they're fighting about, if they're fighting about an object or if they're, hurting each other or saying mean things to each other. You might ask them to, stop for a second so you can be there to support them, but you have to understand what's happening. So in a calm voice, tell them that you notice they're upset. Ask each child, say, I'm going to want both of you to tell me what happened to make you upset. And just asking calmly will help them to calm down a little bit. Repeat what each child tells you and describe how you think they're feeling to see if you got it right. And then ask them what they can do to solve the problem. Let each child have a suggestion. Repeat the suggestions, and if you have another one, say, "Oh, I also have an idea," and then say it. Ask if there's a suggestion that they like and would be willing to implement. If they disagree, you can have them keep brainstorming until they come up with a compromise that they agree on. Later that day, you might talk about the issue again and talk about what they did to each other. Ask how they can avoid hurting each other in the future. What could they do instead? You can also play emotion charades with your kids and talk about the signs that you saw that told you what that emotion was. Sometimes kids don't know how to read other kids' emotions, and us talking about the emotions and the facial signs that we see, for example, like if you're happy, I saw that your lips were turned upward in a smile, and your eyes were bright and open. You had a relaxed face. And you might also ask your kids to find signs and other people that they see when you're out in public. You might have them notice who's happy, angry, surprised, sad, and discuss how they knew that that might be the emotion that that person is experiencing. You can notice when your child has a positive interaction with another child or even an adult if they don't have very many positive interactions with kids, and thank them for it. And then just discussing emotions that we see in characters and books or movies can be helpful for kids to understand, and maybe even possible ways to respond to those emotions. When you get upset, of course, you need to take care of you, and practice your skills of self regulation so that you can help your child calm down. And so your child sees a really good role model for how to deal with strong feelings. We can allow our kids to talk about the trauma and the scary, confusing feelings that might arise as a result of trauma so that they can get some of their needs met, some of those feelings off their chest. And they also might be less likely to talk about it with their friends, who may not know how to handle it, talking about it with you because you're more experienced in life can be helpful for them because you might have ideas for how to solve things. You can label, normalize, and validate their feelings and help them feel safe. If you feel like you need to, you can always talk to your child's teacher so that they're aware of what's happened and they can support your child if they're experiencing like daydreaming, a lack of focus, anger, aggression, different emotions that are not typical for your child. And we can realize that your child might have problems in school performance as well as in interactions with friends. We can talk about how things are going and ask how you can support your child, and talk about your child's feelings as well. We can teach your child how to be a good listener. Kids can listen to what another child says, or they might practice that with you, paraphrase it back, and ask questions about it if it seems appropriate. And you can practice these skills with your child. Give your child control when possible. So, for example, if it's okay for them to choose a snack, then you might give them a few choices for what they might have and let them choose. We might let them, if they don't already pick their own clothes, they might pick their clothes out. They might control, a TV show that they're going to do or an activity that they're going to engage in. And we want to mentor and coach your child's positive social skills through practicing together. Help your child understand how to approach friends to play with them, things to do when playing with other kids so that they can be seen as a good friend, and ways to talk to other kids that are more positive and friendly. These are just, a few suggestions for things that you might do to support your child, not only in developing these skills, but also if your child has experienced some sort of trauma.